before I do that, I'd like to congratulate Javi. And I played with Javi, and he managed, and I had a really good time with the Giants. And you were a joy too. Played on the Giants and in Arizona a couple times. We had really good times. And Rich, I didn't play with you, but I surely didn't know you talked that much. And Lou, you're amazing. I knew you do stats, but I got 20 years right here of Pat's stats, so hang in there, guys. Anyway, you know, I'm going to be short. I am short. You know, what can I say? I'm honored to be able to get up here and talk about not only a great player, a great teammate, but most of all, a great friend. We've been together for 20 years, and before that, we saw each other. He played at Sac State a little bit before I did. Oh, after I did. We care about that all the time. We talk to each other like we're brothers on a daily basis. So I think Dana, she always knows when I'm calling. Something pops up on the phone and she says, "Hi, Joe." So before I even say anything. But, what can I say? We've had, good times. We've talked about it all the time. We should have wrote a book about our 20 years, because it's, there's the old saying about, you see something different in baseball every day. We've seen a lot in 20 years, and he'll probably mention that. Again, this wasn't too fair for us to be last. Because Pat's got about 15 pages to go. Anyway.
You can get the hook too.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call him up again. I'm very proud to have him inducted into the Men's Senior Baseball Hall of Fame.
Landy told me that I had 5 minutes. I know that's going to be probably too much right now, but last year when Billy was up here, he had 4 minutes and 59 seconds left on his clock. It didn't take him long to say thank you, so he said I could use his minutes. So anyhow, you guys, I'll make it as quick as I can. First, I'd like to thank the committee again for nominating me into the Hall of Fame, and I'd like to thank the board. They've been mentioned many times tonight, but they're thankless hours of hard work and commitment to make this league such a successful league, and I'm very honored to be part of it. Rusty, a special thanks to you, because the work that you did this year on those fields and put that new sod in on that infield, I'm not afraid to stick my nose down there anymore and field a ground ball. And it's, when we go to Arizona, one of the highlights is to play on the major league fields down there that they use for spring training. And now we've got 2 fields right in our own backyard that are just everything of that, and that's thanks to Rusty. We talk about our league, the credibility of the league goes a long ways. When we have so many ex-professional players playing in this league, Jim Barr, Lowell Palmer, Bob Alder, Jeff Chandler, Tim Roach, Dave Del Rio, goes on and on and on. Dick Adams, Chuck Wolseth, many others in this room. I go on. These guys used to get paid to play this game, and now they come out and pay their own way, and they play for the love of the game. And I think that says something about the commitment, the competition, and the level of play for the Sacramento Men's Senior Baseball League. As was mentioned, the league originated back in '84, and they had 4 teams. My good friend Bill Beatty told me to kept trying to get me to come out and play, and I said, Billy, my hardball days are gone, buddy, but good luck to you. He was wearing a Dodger uniform at the time, and that had a sentiment to me, and I almost thought about it, but I said, no, I think I'll still keep playing softball. And then, lo and behold, in '93, I was playing at a Sac State Alumni game, and Joe was playing out there. I think they had a couple teams, and Johnny Rice was out there. And so after the game was over, John, and you got to understand that I knew of these guys. They were legends. And like Joe mentioned, they're a lot older than I was. So all I did was hear all the stories. I heard the stories about the little All-American shortstop, okay? And I used to see this guy when we were playing, had his transistor radio back behind the backstop, listening to the Giant game and watching, okay? And I heard all about it. And I heard about the Gazelle that played in Rome center field that could go from line to line and nothing got line. So I heard all the stories. And so when Johnny and Lowell started talking to Joe and I after that alumni game about playing in the men's senior baseball league in '93, I said, that might be a good opportunity for me to play with these guys. Started doing that 20 years ago, haven't looked back. It was a great experience. On top of that, to have the honor to play with that little All-American shortstop and be the partner to that Keystone combination. I can't tell you the number of double plays that we have turned over the years, but knew exactly what each other was going to do and had each other's back, and the friendship is tremendous, but it was just been an honor for playing with him for 20 years, and so I'm still going.
Pat, too many of us in this room who participated in those couple points.
Some of my great experiences, just a few here over the past 20 years. First one in '94, Dick Adams and John Rice took us down to San Diego, played in the Cal Cup, played 5 games down there, ended up winning it down there, and Joe Armigas was on that team, Steve Gannon. Okay, we talked about these guys playing with pain, and there is no DL. Steve Gannon was only a catcher. Catches all 5 games. Toenails have come off his toes, and he's hurt. He never tell you, but that's just another highlight. But that experience was great. That same year was my second trip back to the World Series, and this time with the Majic. John Rice and Lowell and Leron were running that show, and we won our first championship back in '94, and that one of the highlights. And then in 2008, I came on with Kenny Chavez at the Tribe, and Kenny's reputation goes way back. All the championships that he's won, the teams he takes from Sacramento back there that have been successful, and I had an honor to be part of that. I played with them in 2008, 9, and 10. We won 3 straight back-to-back World Series championships. Now anymore, when the World Series sees Kenny Chavez and the Tribe coming to town, they say, we're not going to play in the National League. We're going to drop down. We're going to go someplace else. So that reputation still holds, and it's been an honor, Kenny, to play with you guys in the Tribe there. As I mentioned so much tonight, the Sacramento MSBL is like a fraternity and a family, and the friendships and acquaintances that have been developed over the years are second to none. If you would have told me again that back in the day that at the age of 62 I'd still be playing hardball, I would have said you're crazy, but it's given me a reason to work out, stay in some kind of shape. No matter how bad the day goes at work or whatever, to be able to go out there on the baseball field and run around like we're 12 years old again, leave all your troubles behind, is just been super. We're all a little grayer, a little heavier, and a lot slower, but we still love to compete and love the game. As when I talk about family, I'd like to take a few minutes and just introduce, again, recognize my family for being here tonight and support me through all the times that I've been gone playing ball and everything like that. My little grandson Nico, who's weathered this storm for the whole 9 yards tonight, hanging in there, and appreciate that. A few other people I'd like to mention. My longtime best friend from elementary school, who I started playing Little League with back some 50 plus years ago, who came down from Lake Allenor today to be here for this special occasion, my great buddy, Ray Killingsworth. My son, Brian, who plays on the Aces, and when they started getting their team together a few years back, and they had to make the transition from metal bats to wood bats, I brought him over to Camino High School, and we could jump into cages, and I enjoyed throwing him batting practice with the wood bats and listening to him, complain about how it's hurting their hands and this and that and the other thing, and watching them grow the last couple of years in using the wood bat, and they're in the hunt every year for the championship, and it's been fun to watch them play with Ryan and the Aces there. I can't neglect my family of the A's. We've been together, some of us, for 20 years, and still going strong. We just finished the spring league, and first time I've played in spring league forever, and just a couple weeks ago we won the championship. And I don't know if you know it or not, but Joe Soto just had a knee replacement done in February, and most guys take 6 months to a year to come back from that. So we're in the championship game, playing over in Davis against NorCal Giants, and Joe's coaching third base, which he did throughout the season after he had the replacement. And the game was on the line, and it was tied 7-7, and we had the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. And I was on third base, so I told Joe, I said, hey, go pick up a bat and win this thing and get this thing over. And he hesitated a minute, and he walked up, and why he took the bat up there, I'm not sure, but he walked up and took the bat up to the plate, and he worked the guy for a full count. Now, you gotta understand that he had a couple conversations with the umpire during the game. One was a first and third situation. Our catcher, Dave Del Rio, was on first, and the pitcher did a wheel pick back to second. Nobody's on second, that's a balk. And he kept on going back over to first base, and it got Dave in the rundown, and Dave's saying that's a balk, Joe's saying that's a balk, but except the umpire didn't call it a balk. So luckily enough, Dave got back and was safe. That was one. Dave Del Rio, if you know it, he's one of the best catchers, along with Steve Welch and several other guys. I've never seen him in the 10 years I've played with him have a catcher's interference call. And umpire, there's a foul ball, and it hits Dave in the thigh. Weird sound, umpire calls catcher's interference, gives the batter the base. Joe's out there in his dish, John, and Joe's pretty quiet. If you've known Joe, he's pretty quiet. But when you get that little Portuguese riled up, and the umpire makes a bad call, look out. So he gives him an earful, and there was a couple other calls that didn't go our way during the game. So on this bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, full count, I was literally 10 feet away from the plate. I literally had to stop just in case he decided he was going to swing the bat and turned on one. But I want to make sure that the pitcher saw me, and he throws ball 4 down and away, and we win the ball game. And I mean, that's just the type of guy he is. He comes in, takes care of business, and could have taken a newspaper up there and done the job, So again, it's been a great pleasure playing with him. Last but not least, I gotta give special credit to my lovely wife, who has supported. Next year is going to be our 20th anniversary. I happen to be, this is my 20th year playing in this league, so there's quite a correlation there about my two favorite pastimes, without a doubt. And my wife, my best friend, our scorekeeper, our team mom, who makes numerous food items and brings to us after the games and goes out in the parking lot and takes care of that. She's also a pampered chef and a pretty darn good cook, as you can see. And so, again, a special thanks to my lovely wife. And in closing, I would like to say again, we play this game, we pay to play this game, we pay our own way when we go to these World Series games in Arizona. We pay for our uniforms, we pay for our equipment. We continue to play with aches and pains, and I got like so many guys in this room who have played with major pains, but they're not going to give up the game. And people ask, why do you still put yourself through that? And all I can say is for the love of the game. Thank you very much.